Greetings, my friends. Thank you for watching this video, and if you would be so kind, please subscribe if you like what you see. Help our channel to keep growing and keep fighting the war to save pop culture. Together, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy. Enjoy, and thanks. My friends, one of my longtime inside sources for Star Trek has alleged that Secret Hideout, finding itself out of favor at Paramount vis-a-vis the Star Trek franchise, is about to launch a desperate dog and pony show on Star Trek Day with more questionable project announcements and renewals, all in a quest to find the world's dumbest investors, the last few angels out there who haven't heard that Star Trek is on the skids, all to raise enough money to save Secret Hideout's stranglehold on this dead and abused franchise. Horrific news for fans.
Boy, you'd have to be one crazy dumb investor to sink any money into Kurtzman Trek, from what I've heard. How dumb must you be to invest in Kurtzman Trek when all you have to do for due diligence is to go to Target and see the spectacular shortage of Star Trek licensed material? Usually, for due diligence, you have to look at financials and dig through filings and paperwork, research and review data, but in this case, hell, all you gotta do is go to Target and look around.
Hey, Secret Hideout at this point is like a kid with a tooth under his pillow. They have a childlike faith that there are investors that stupid out there at this point, and who knows? Maybe there are. Maybe there is a tooth fairy and a Santa Claus. Maybe there's an Easter bunny. Maybe there's one good idea somewhere hidden in 5 years of Kurtzman Trek, and I missed it because I was projectile vomiting at the time due to all the other stupidity and writing incompetence I saw on those horrid shows. I guess anything is possible. Maybe it'll rain fish and crabs and bags of money, I don't know. But I do know that Kurtzman Trek is not Star Trek. Kurtzman Trek is, from everything that I've been able to discern, a colossal failure. And I have some inside rumors about the current deplorable state of Star Trek and of Kurtzman's alleged plans to find really dumb investors with a Star Trek Day propaganda pitch full of the usual announcements and renewals which in the past have gone absolutely nowhere. At this point, I'm going to present information to you provided to me by a longtime source claiming to have knowledge of the situation inside Paramount and or Viacom or whatever the hell name they're hiding behind these days. But since I cannot personally verify this information, I am absolutely presenting it as unverified rumor, and I ask you to please take it with a grain of salt. All right, my friends, here's what I was told. A few weeks ago, I received the following message from my longtime source, quote, "I have Trek news. Kurtzman's getting desperate. Paramount opted not to enter negotiations for his contract renewal. The movie is dead. Nothing is greenlit to shoot going forward. The investor class recognized that things are not what they should be, and now there's concern in-house if Bad Robot is done not just with Trek, but with all IPs. Kurtzman is doing a Paramount Star Trek Day coming up on September 8th, and he is going to pitch the living shit out of everything and try to make it into a streaming party. In reality, it is nothing more than a giant investor pitch for his Kurtzman Trek. My CBS source heard them laughing. Kurtzman is going to be pitching everything and claiming they are the most successful Trek and are already renewed for 7 years. It is not true. Nothing is greenlit. He is desperate for new partners, licenses for anything, and investors, and this will be his last major dog and pony shows. But investors are wising up, unquote.
So according to this source, looks like Secret Hideout is on the desperate hunt for the world's dumbest investors. Kurtzman is going to make a lot of claims and announcements on Star Trek Day that, according to this source, are dubious at best, and they're hoping investors will remember all the other announcements that didn't come true in the past.
Absolutely, Harvey. What announcements didn't come true in the past? Holy crap. The list is endless. If I tried to list them all, this video would be an hour long, but let's look at a small sampling of these announcements and false starts that never went anywhere, all designed, according to sources, to create the illusion that Bad Robot and Secret Hideout are making successful Star Trek. First of all, let's examine the hilarious history of Section 31 announcements that went nowhere. Seems like they've been constantly saying, Section 31 is greenlit, we're about to start shooting, and somehow it never happens. Now, allegedly, they do this for publicity, to put up a good front and appear like the franchise is healthy, according to this source, to drum up investment from those with more money than sense. On June 19th, 2019, the following headline appeared: Star Trek Section 31 plans to begin filming immediately after Discovery Season 3 wraps. Star Trek fans can expect to dive into the dark side of the Star Trek universe as soon as Star Trek Discovery wraps on its third season. That was in June of 2019, and it never happened. They used COVID as a very convenient excuse. Okay, sure. But that didn't stop them from cranking out more STD and puke hard, but hey, okay. Let's cut to February 3rd, 2020. New Star Trek series Section 31 to start filming when Discovery Season 3 wraps. The same shit again. The first episodes of Star Trek Picard have aired and are now being scrutinized on social media and countless threads across the internet. But let's not forget about Season 3 of Star Trek Discovery and the new spin-off show, which may or may not officially be called Section 31, although that title does seem likely, unquote. Yeah, sure it does. Cut to July 20th of 2021. This has been 2 years now, something like that. The article appeared, Star Trek producers remain optimistic about Section 31 spin-off's future. Star Trek's Emperor Giorgio fans can take heart, knowing that hope is not lost for the planned Star Trek Discovery Section 31 spin-off. Fans following the project will remember that a writer's room was in place with plans to start production, blah, blah, blah. Still, Star Trek head Alex Kurtzman remains optimistic about the show's future. Yeah, right. Section 31's imminent production start that never comes had another purpose, allegedly. My source says, quote, many believe saying Section 31 was greenlit was used to trick Michelle Yeoh into signing a contract extension to finish up STD, as she was made to believe her starring show had been approved, unquote.
And what about all the times they said Star Trek 4 was greenlit and ready to go? That's been a yearly announcement, Doomcock, and yet it never seems to actually happen. July 18th, 2016. Fourth Star Trek movie a go at Paramount. Chris Hemsworth back as Kirk's father. April 27th, 2018. Paramount greenlit Star Trek 4, put Star Trek 5 in development. Paramount has doubled down on its commitment to the Star Trek universe. It has greenlit Star Trek 4, with S.J. Clarkson on board to direct the film. Star Trek 5, meanwhile, is being developed by a team of writers working with Quentin Tarantino. Spoiler, none of that ever happened. Then November 19th, 2019, Star Trek 4 eyes Fargo Legion creator Noah Hawley to direct. Yeah, not so much. And then February 23rd, 2022, Star Trek 4 announcement reportedly surprised its stars as much as the fans. Remember that, Doomcock? J.J. Abrams announced Star Trek 4 was a go and was going to start filming in December, but the cast knew nothing about it?
Oh, yes, Harvey. Indeed. Oh, I remember that well. Quote, February saw a swath of new projects announced by Paramount, the studio intending to bolster the offering of Paramount Plus, their exclusive streaming platform. One of the titles announced was a third sequel in the rebooted Star Trek franchise, the fourth movie total, with all the associated star players returning to their roles. Quote, We are thrilled to say that we are hard at work on a new Star Trek film that will be shooting by the end of the year that will be featuring our original cast, unquote, producer J.J. Abrams said. But The Hollywood Reporter has revealed that, according to their sources, said stars, including the likes of Zachary Quinto, Chris Pine, Simon Pegg, Zoe Saldana, and John Cho, were none the wiser about the new installment. According to THR, quote, most, if not all, teams for the franchise's primary players were not aware that an announcement for another film was coming, much less that their clients would be touted as a part of the deal, and certainly not that their clients would be shooting a movie by year's end. Insiders say that Pine, who plays Captain Kirk, is the first to enter into early negotiations as he is the linchpin to the project, unquote. This strikes as a strange move if this is the case because, presumably, contracts had yet to be signed, and this relinquishes the studio of any bargaining power. Now the project has been announced with a returning ensemble, and that's exactly what fans will expect, meaning that big hitters, not least the likes of Quinto and Pine, can demand top dollar figures to step aboard the Enterprise, unquote.
Almost like that was a total bullshit announcement born of desperation to try and sucker investors to climb on board when there was no such project because none of the actors allegedly in the project had ever heard of it.
It's kind of like that, Harvey, and that's exactly what my sources maintain. But even if it was an announcement in good faith that Abrams believed in his heart of hearts, I don't think it's encouraging to potential investors that Bad Robot would be such incompetent businessmen as to make such a bonehead business move. They tipped their hand and publicly put themselves in a negotiating corner with the cast because after that incompetent announcement, the actors had them over a barrel. The actors, not the production company, at that point had all the negotiating power and could leverage much more money from Bad Robot, knowing their level of desperation. Is this the kind of company that investors want to be in business with? Are they gonna trust their money with folks that would mess up so badly, so desperately, and so publicly? Welcome to Star Trek Day, investors. Here, sign on the dotted line. My source has this to say about the state of affairs behind the scenes regarding Star Trek. Quote, too many investors are wise to this now. Look, Strange New Worlds did okay. It was an improvement, however. It didn't do as well as they wanted, and it failed to generate licensee interest, unquote. My source then added, $50 says we get a Section 31 announcement on Star Trek Day, a Starfleet Academy announcement on Star Trek Day, and a USS Republic announcement. Maybe even Star Trek, the musical. Why not? Throw everything into that Star Trek Day fiesta. My source then continued, quote, this comes from my shareholder's friend, quote, I have heard Kurtzman is working mostly from home now, and that he has already been told that he should trim his staff because Paramount is not going to increase funding for any of his projects. He was told he would be extended if the shows performed performance clause, which he failed, including Strange New Worlds. He's hoping that Picard Season 3 will make a buzz large enough to guarantee his contract extension, but it is already officially canceled after Season 3. No Trek movie is going to be greenlit no matter how cheap or who offers to do it. Unquote. My source adds, Kurtzman has left the building. Suffice it to say that nobody is even debating or discussing anything with Kurtzman. He is demanding and is being ignored. The bar was set high for Strange New Worlds, and it did not even come close to what they needed to achieve to be called a success. Unquote. As of Friday, September 2nd, Paramount Global stock dropped to $23.12 a share, down 31.03% over the past 6 months and down 44.45% in the past year. And all I know is personally, I think Star Trek is as dead as a vampire with a stake through its heart, its head cut off, buried at a crossroads, mouth stuffed full of garlic. But hey, Any potential investors out there, what the hell? Happy investing on Star Trek Day. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.